The other day I needed to use the bathroom. This was in Auckland, about here, and after I'd come off the ferry on a very well depicted, but not traceable route into the CBD, meaning that sadly, I would need to use a public bathroom. Personally, I hate public bathrooms. I cannot stand them. The cubicle ones with the doors shut and it's just you with like the sink and all that, I can deal with. But if it's the one where the only proper etiquette is to act like bowling pins, nah. Years ago, when I was probably about this tall, I went on a school trip for a couple weeks and I pooped once. Once. I just mentally could not stomach the idea. Get it? Number one is fine because you're just adding to the liquid on liquid. Number one is fine, but number two, you just have to get through the wet and crusty layer of utter disgust until you have to deal with the vulnerability. Unsurprisingly, this isn't a live review, because if I did, it would just be something like, oh no, that smells terrible and they didn't flush. Oh, wait, what's that funny meme? Future Alex, add in the funny meme about not flushing. I got it. Why does somebody not know to flush the toilet after they've had a shit? Disgusting! You know, you need the passion, you need the fire, you need the burn. Why does somebody not know how to flush the toilet after they've had a shit? Disgusting! Key Street or Quay Street, I was using maps, but I wasn't actually able to find the entrance to it. All I got was, and I'd rather not piss on a transformer. I have to give it 1 star, but if you look at the reviews, bad phone. Here we go. 1 review at 4 stars. So if we get the mean of those two, it's 2.5 stars. This is from JB saying, too many people to sleep at. The walk to the Custom Street bathroom was like a nice brisk pace, just moving along, as I kind of needed to be at that point. This one, I actually managed to find the entrance to, so I was able to get into it. However, as soon as I opened those doors, you just got that waft of terrible smell. Not really excrement, not really urine. Somewhere in between. Besides the untraceable, the toilet was flushed, smell, it was actually pretty clean. I'd say it was pretty usable. That was until after I'd taken most of the pictures, and then quickly realized that there's actually no toilet paper. So if I'd come in with the intent of doing a number 2, I probably wouldn't have realized it. So I'm gonna have to give it what you can do in it. 1 star. As I was walking from Customs Street to this bathroom, I got to see the new station that they're building. I was just like, alright, cool, construction. But that resulted in this. One star. The next public bathroom on my tour of toilets was in Albert Park. This one's a little bit complicated, because when I showed up, there was somebody cleaning it. And I'm not going to go into there with somebody just outside the door and be like, so it's just like, I'll wait. They didn't go, so on to Myers Park. As I was going to Myers Park, I had a really good omen of it starting to rain. I had no raincoat or anything, so it was just like, this is gonna be good. Once I made it into Myers Park, I was greeted by, frankly, quite a nice statue. It gave me slightly culty vibes, but don't worry. When I went into the bathroom, the vibes in there were worse. The first thing I saw was this. Real amazing. And after I'd looked it up, I noticed that it was temporarily closed, which kind of makes sense, because this one was terrible. Now, I don't know if this counts as media, but believe me, I'm not lying when I say that this bathroom was shit. If I could use a number less than 1, I would. At least Custom Street, lot. This had nothing in it. It was completely destroyed. It looked like somebody had had like a meth rage in it or something. I don't know. Someone really went at it. 1 star. The would-be final stop was Simmons Street. As I was walking up to K Road, which has a lovely reputation, I was surprised to find a group of like 40, 50 people all really huddled together outside of a doctor's. Then I'd realized that there'd actually been a location of interest on K Road, so my anxiety was chilling. It was nice and calm. Which brings me to Simmons Street. It was closed. It said it on the website that it was closed, but I could get into Myers Park. So I was like, maybe I can get into Simmons. It was closed. 1 star. 1 star. On my way back down to Albert Park, I decided to go through the university because I haven't been there. I've had a couple mates who have gone there and it sounds pretty nice. And I was greeted with anarchist symbols, communist symbols, anti-vax stuff, anti-government stuff, and about 8 people outside of Starbucks. We all know which one of those groups are a bunch of idiots. Can I give it a chai triple latte, please? Once I'd taken in the world's many opposing worldviews, I'd finally made it to Albert Park, where the floors were wet from being recently cleaned, though. Not like all the other ones. I'm pretty sure this was because it was mopped. And the first toilet to have toilet paper. It was the only one to have toilet paper. Albert Park, 5 stars. I'll now go through all of the reviews for each of the toilets, so they'll give you a better picture for the ones that are closed. Even though most of the public toilets being closed kind of says enough about the public toilet situation in the CBD. Custom Street, we have a 5-star review with it saying, it's a toilet, is it clean? I don't know. Is it safe to use? Probably not. 5 stars. Sebastian R gave it 2 stars. Yeah. The Sky Tower one I can't seem to find any reviews on. Albert Park is on 2.9 stars with 30 reviews, so I'll just give you the gist of them. 5 stars. Oh, it's the same guy who gave 5 stars before. Great bathroom, never been inside, but why would you check reviews for a public bathroom? Of course this place is going to be bad because it's a public toilet. Very helpful guide. So cozy, good place for a nap. JB's bag. 1 star, both female toilets were clogged and flooded, and one of the male toilets lacked a door and had fecal matter on the walls. Nothing to dry hands. Nice park setting though. Myers Park has 6 reviews at 2.8 stars. The first one is 3 stars from Crazy Creatives. Not that bad. Toilet paper are available, however it's not held properly. They could fall on the ground. It's reasonable clean, as I did see worse. There is foamy hand soap. The electrical lock is broken. 1 star, very disappointing, filthy, with old dirty clothes on a sodden floor, no toilet paper, no soap or sanitizer. Disgusting. Wake up, Auckland City Council. That one I'd actually agree with. Pete Williams, stay away from this public facility. The Simmons Street one has no reviews. It's kind of sad, but it is currently under construction, so